everyone and welcome to our channel. My name is Wemimo and I am an autism mom. So if you haven't met my son Shaheem who has autism, I'll leave a link down below where we introduce ourselves and what our channel is all about. So I'll just get right into it. I get lots of questions about Shaheem and what age he was diagnosed, what made us, ask for an autism assessment, and lots and lots of questions through my Instagram page from parents who suspect their child might be on the spectrum or who are newly diagnosed. So I'll start from birth. Shaheem was a fun child. Shaheem was a bubbly boy. He was very smiley, and they used to call him mini guy smiley because his dad used to smile a lot as a baby, so they used to also call him guy smiley. He was a fun child. He loved to eat a lot, and I breastfed him till he was a year old. Then when Shaheem was 12 months old, he wasn't blabbing, but to be honest, I wasn't really paying that much attention to that because to me he seemed very healthy and he was a fun boy. He was loving. He was everything you expect from a baby. I remember his first birthday very well. He just wanted me to carry him and his dad to carry him, and he was overwhelmed with the crowd and he was crying a lot because there are just so many faces he had never seen before. And when he was 18 months, he was very bubbly. He loved playing music. He loved listening to music. He loved dancing. Shaheem loved watching channels like Teletubbies, CBBS. On CBBS they used to show Teletubbies, Number Toms, In the Night Garden, Grandpa in My Pocket, Number Toms, Number Jags. He was good with numbers. He could count from 1 to 10. So I was like, okay. But when he does that, he does it obviously not clear like 1, 2, 3. He's like 1, 2, 3, but that's what he's doing, counting. But there was no blabbing. But he would try and blab whatever song he's listening to. He really liked Gangnam Style. Then it was Gangnam Style, and he liked staying on my phone. He liked playing with my phone, and I remember he used to tease a lot with my phone, and he actually damaged my Sam. It wasn't Samsung. It was BlackBerry. Is that the name of the phone? Yeah, BlackBerry. No. Back then it was BlackBerry. I just had to ask for a chat because I totally forgot. So it was BlackBerry that he spoiled at the time because he used to put in his mouth and spit in it, so that got damaged. So he used to blab. He really loved playing with phones then. So when he was approaching 24 months, I was getting a bit worried because there was still no speech. He was due for a 2-year assessment. By the health visitor. So they'll come and assess him. They'll check whether he can say maybe 10 words, ask me about what I'm concerned about. They did a lot of assessment. Just asked me a bunch of questions that they would expect from a 2-year-old. And at the time I told her that, Shane can count from 1 to 10. And she was like, is he saying any words? I said, no. Does he understand go? Does he understand when you show him his shoe, it's time to go out? When you show him his jacket? And I was like, no, but I think if I show him his jacket, no, actually, when I show him his jacket, he knows it's time to go out. But there are other things that maybe his shoe, if I show him his shoe and say Shane it's time to go out, he wouldn't really answer. No, but I remember the jacket one. He knew once it's time to go out, he had to wear his jacket. But every other thing, like maybe show him a cup, he knew that, he wants to drink. So she asked me, so how does Shaheem communicate with you then? And I said, he likes to push me to what he wants. And to be honest, Shaheem is a very independent child as well. He mastered everything everywhere in the house, and especially the kitchen. He would go there, get what he wants. Obviously, if he can't get what he's trying to reach, he would maybe call for my attention. But most times, he knows what he wants to just, just walk around and push me or whatever. So she was like, okay, right. Since he's saying 1 to 10, he can say 1 to 10, but he's not saying, mama. He wasn't saying mama. He wasn't saying dada. But it was blabbing. He was saying ba 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 da ba 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 at that time. So she's like, you know what, kids are different. Give him another 6 months, and you can then see maybe he will develop, because children are different. So I was like, okay, no problem. But at this point, when I go out, I'll see kids of his age are like blabbing a little bit or talking, saying words. And then when I ask parents, like, how old is your child? They'll say, they might even tell me an age that is younger than Shaheem's, and I'll be like, but my child is, but he's not saying this. And they'll be like, that kids are different. Maybe some will say my first child was like that too. My first child did not talk on time, did not talk until maybe when he was 3. But this one said talking at the age of, let's say, 18 months. That children are different. So that put my mind at ease that, okay, maybe he's just taking his time to talk and stuff. So I left it at that. So when the health visitor told me to give him another 6 months, I waited about 7 months, and then I contacted my health visitor. When I contacted the department, they were telling me, the health visitor that came doesn't work with them anymore. She's moved to another department, and we'll try and tell the new health visitor to contact you. Then I'll call again. They'll say, we don't know who this health visitor is. There's a temp now. They'll contact you. Shaheem was already 3. And at this point, I was getting frustrated myself. And I was like, okay, my son is not talking. I'm getting worried. And at this point, Shaheem used to get really get upset on time, get angry about the littlest things. And I'll be like, why is this boy so stubborn? He's so stubborn. But then I say, maybe because the communication is not there yet, maybe that is why he's like that. And then when I will call my mom or my mother-in-law, and I'll ask them or tell them that mom, Shaheem is not talking yet, so that I'm a bit worried. They say, leave him, Joy. Children are different. One would say, some children, when they don't talk like that, it means that they're very intelligent, Or another time they'll tell me, you have to wait. Some children say 4 years old. I know someone that the child did not talk till it was six years old, So things like that, I just used to put my mind at ease. But I was suspecting that, what is Shaheem deaf? And that's why I said, is Shaheem deaf? What is going on with this boy? Maybe he's deaf, and So I used to get really frustrated with him, get really upset when I then assumed that it was just being naughty, it would kick off and just be showing signs of just what appeared to me back then as him being a naughty child, So when I spoke to my parents and they said that, I was like, okay, no problem. But I was like, this is not right. And at this point, Shaheem was already, at the point when Shaheem was over 3, school was showing consensus, and they asked me to come to school. And when I went, they were like, they're a bit worried about Shaheem's speech. He's not talking. He doesn't play with the kids in school. I was like, But me, I was thinking, okay, maybe he needs speech therapy. I said to them that, I think this boy, maybe he's deaf. They said, no, they don't think he's deaf, that they think he needs to see a speech therapist. That was how they said it. But I think school, obviously with that experience, they knew Shaheem had autism, but I guess it wasn't in that place to tell me Shaheem had autism. So they just put it to me like that you need to see. So I just told them that, see, I'm a bit frustrated with the health visitor. She said she was going to come and see him and maybe there's anything they can do for him if he doesn't improve. But they keep messing me about for more than almost 6 months now. We've been going back and forth. So the key worker I spoke to said to me, you know what, forget about the visitor. They can be quite useless sometimes. Contact your GP instead and speak to your GP about it. Your GP will refer you to the speech and therapy, the speech and language team. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. I went to see the GP and I just told the GP about Shaheem, that he wasn't speaking, and that I think maybe he's deaf, you know, that but he's not communicating, and school too said that he needs speech therapy. They recommend that he needs speech therapy, and that they should refer him to the right department. So the doctor said, okay, since school is showing that concern, he would do the referral. That also it's important for Shaheem to have a hearing test as well, since I'm concerned that he's showing signs of deafness, you know, because Shaheem seemed fine to me. I just felt like, okay, maybe he's deaf, you know, and maybe if he is, maybe he needs hearing aids, you know. So they said, okay, they'll do a hearing test for him. So they booked that and they referred him. So when we went for the hearing test, it went all well. They put him in a room and they had like different instruments in like the four corners of the room, and there was someone outside operating the sounds. So when they press it, Shaheem was really good at finding where the sound come from. So they'll make it very loud, they'll make it really low, they'll make like a buzzy sign, you know. And he picked up all the noises, and at the end they said he had no hearing problems. So I thought, but I was like, then he doesn't have any hearing problem, then what is wrong with this boy? This boy is just acting naughty, because the littlest thing he will get upset. So I used to think to myself, this boy, you're just so lucky in the UK that in Nigeria I can't try half of what you're doing now, because from where I grew up in Nigeria, we used to get flogged for being naughty, you know, get spanked and stuff. But obviously I can't do it, not because he's acting up, but because I don't believe in spanking kids. I really don't believe in spanking kids, you know, because when I was young I was dyslexic, which is what they call olodo in my country. And so it kind of, I didn't like the idea of smacking children. But you know, in my mind I'll just be like, this boy, if you did Nigeria now, you know, I go they go, don't smack yours, you know, something like that, you know. But so I just used to think that, what is the matter? Is it lies, but is there, maybe they should do another test. So anyways, when the speech and therapy, no, so someone from the special education contacted me. So I got the letter, and they said it's going to take 6 months, blah blah blah. And at this time Shane was about maybe 3 years and 2 months, because Shane was, yeah, because I received the letter within like 2 weeks or so. So Shane was a little over 3 years. So they came and they saw Shaheem. So the special needs team came, the assessed him in school, wrote their reports, what they found out from school, you know, what they told them in school. The speech therapist came, then another team came, I can't really remember. They came to the house. So this took like about 4 to 6 months, the entire assessment, because it wasn't just a one-time thing. They came so many times to school, because there are sometimes they will be sleeping when they come, so they'll have to rebook. And sometimes they would want to see what, you know, school is talking about, or what they've asked me, what they're talking about. So they did a lot of assessment, but the assessment, I don't want to focus on the assessment now. I'm going to make a different video about the assessments on the signs of autism Shaheem showed, or this worries, or the signs that I found worrying, which I later found out was linked to autism. So I'm going to make a different video so I don't make this video too long. So They did all the assessment, the urine test came fine, and at the end of it, they said Shaheem had autism. And when they said, my initial reaction then was, he has autism. What is autism? What are these people saying? You know? When they said it, I was just nodding my head, trying to process what they just said. So I was like, autism, this boy seems fine now. He only has communication problem. They came to the house to tell me this. Two of them came to the house to tell me this, and then they said they would like to do counseling, and I should come for their workshop about how to approach children who have autism. And then they also said he needs to be on the EHC plan. So all these things they're just saying to me is just like, okay, whoa, you know, I've always seen kids who are naughty in public as just kids who lack discipline, you know, because of where I'm from. I'm from Nigeria. They don't take nonsense, you know. Your parents might not flog you, but your teachers flog you. Even outsiders, they flog you if you do something silly. So it's like, what are these ones saying? So when they told me all of this, I waited for his dad to come back from work, and I told Oricha, and Oricha was like, my husband, he was like, tall. But my man, like, what is this one saying? I was like, but what do they mean by has autism? What is that? And he tried to explain it to me, and just said, you know, it's just, there's nothing wrong with him. I said, I know there's nothing wrong with him. He's my child at the end of the day, but I don't understand what it means, but that he has autism. So when the next day when I went to school and I told his key worker, because there's one of his key workers that is fond of Shaheem, and I was like, I don't understand this thing. They gave me some websites to check. I can't even check the website because I'm confused, and I think it was just shock. And the lady just said to me that, see, at the end of the day, Shaheem is your child. You shouldn't see Shaheem any different. I said, I'm not seeing any different, but I don't understand what these people are telling me. I don't understand it. And she was like, don't go on the internet. And Hannah saying, don't go on the internet, made me more, you know, curious. Like, okay, what do you mean don't go on the internet? I said, don't go on the internet, because if you go on the internet, you know, there are a lot of websites that says that have a lot of controversy about autism, and there are a lot of websites that they don't portray autistic children in a good way. So I was like, okay. And then she gave me some information that I can read up on and check online, and she just said, go on this website. It's the website that they gave me, that I should go on it and just read up on it. So when I went home, the first thing I did was go on the internet, because that's the thing. You cannot tell them not to go on the internet. That's human being for you. When you tell humans don't do something, that is the first thing they do. So I went online to check, and that even made it worse for me, because there were just so many articles about autism that was discouraging. And I was like, so my child will never talk. My child will not live a normal life. My child will not be independent. My child will not be this. I was just so much going through my head. In the UK, you have to be 4 years old to be diagnosed with autism. But Shaheem was 3.5, almost clocking 4, when he was diagnosed, when we were told he had autism, but the diagnosis wasn't until he was 4. So when the therapy, because when the speech therapists, when all of them come and they write all the assessments and you go for that workshop and everything, you then have to see a doctor who would then diagnose the child with autism based on all the reports that the speech therapist, the special needs education department, and every other bodies that were involved in the assessment process would write and then present to the doctor. The doctor to assess Shaheem on that day as well. It was like we're there for almost 2 hours, I think. It was quite long, or was it more than an hour? But it was quite a long meeting with the doctor, because the doctor did some assessment with him, and then he just told. And I remember asking the doctor, "Will Shaheem ever speak?" It was like, well, it is up to Shaheem, you know, and it was just giving encouraging words on, you know, people say children with autism cannot live a better life, blah blah blah. But there are kids with autism that when you see them today, they are this, they are that, they are this, they are that, they are this, they are that. They are responsible people of the society, you know. And it was just telling me all sorts. And I was like, but what is this autism? Because I just didn't want to believe he had autism. Like, I felt like there was something more to it. And if I'll be honest, I felt like maybe God was punishing me for something I've done or something I did in my past. And which is where the religion part also comes in play, which I'll speak about maybe in another video once I do the science of autism. So they gave me links and I read up on it. And when I read up on everything, it started making a lot of sense to me it made a lot of sense to me. Then I realized that Shaheem is not a spoiled child. It is his way of expressing himself when he's frustrated, because he can't communicate with me very well, or he feels like I don't understand his needs, because sometimes I don't understand what he's kicking off about or what he's getting upset about, you know. It started making sense to me why Shaheem had no stranger awareness, no safety awareness, and it started making sense to me why there are some things that I have seen Shaheem do, but maybe because I'm a first-time mom, I did not think it was a big deal, or I did not think it was anything to worry about. You know, I just felt like it was just a child being a child, and you know. But I would explain all these things in my next video, where I tell all the signs of autism Shaheem showed. I do have a lot of Nigerians who follow me, who live in Nigeria, and they do ask me these questions, and sometimes I, you know, don't have all the answers, or can't really help. I can only give my advice, you know. But I'll also put Instagram links of specialists who you can chat with, and then I'll also put some other helpful links that they gave me that helped when Shaheem was diagnosed, with the experiences they have, and from what I've seen on Instagram and from my chats and conversations with them, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So I'll put that link below. It's not a sponsored post at all. These are people I just met online, and I've been following them for a while from my personal page before I created the quotas. So that'll be it for now, and see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.